So, what is your favorite way to spend a lazy day? This question was asked in my journal. My journal now has prompts. And when I first saw it, I thought, well, to be lazy, obviously. If you want me to spend a lazy day, then I'd just be lazy, right? That's in the definition, that's in the wording. But if you think about it, if you're just being lazy, what do you actually do when you're lazy? Like, if you do any sort of activity, does that mean you're not being lazy anymore? Because you're actually doing something. Like, if I wanted to go outside and just take a walk, that's not really being lazy, is it? Because you're actually engaging in physical activity, which is productive, which is the opposite of lazy. So, what do you do when you're lazy? Do you just kind of sit around, do nothing? Maybe that's the only way to be lazy, just do absolutely nothing. But even if you're doing nothing, you're still living, right? You're still breathing. Is that being lazy? Because you're still breathing, which is still productive. Technically, breathing is productive because you need that to live. Even sleeping is technically not exactly lazy, because that's when your body decides to rebuild its muscles and tissues. So, is there really any lazy activity? Even eating has benefits. Is just being lazy just trying to be not productive, but your body's subconsciously just trying to be productive? No matter what you do, your body's just trying to do something good in the midst of your mind trying to just do nothing, but you're really just involuntarily doing something. It's a weird thing to think about. If you just sat down on the couch, is that technically being lazy? I really can't think of any benefit of just sitting down, besides unless like you did a bunch of activity and you're really tired. If you're really tired, you actually need to rest. So is being lazy really a bad thing? Of course, excessively it should be bad, but maybe there is a way for laziness to be a good thing. Of course, I might just be making that up, I don't know. These are just random thoughts I have that just wander in my head. If you want to do, like, casual things, is that being lazy? Maybe being lazy is just doing whatever you want to do. Well, if you want to do something that's actually good and productive, like some people like to research a bunch of random stuff or read. Reading is technically beneficial. Of course, I mean, like, reading captions on Instagram isn't exactly the most productive way to read. But if you actually want to read, like, nonfiction books as a hobby, would that count? I feel like that'd be somewhat productive because you're learning something academically, and that is certainly productive. I don't know if that's lazy. Some people consider that work. So maybe being lazy is different for every person. Every perspective is different. Is it really true that we all have a different perspective on life? If that's the case, then there's no single way to live. Is there a correct way to live? There ought to be. Isn't that what morals are for? Perhaps that's why ethics is such a big thing. Everyone has a different way to determine how they live. I don't know. Perhaps, perhaps. Maybe just being lazy, just thinking about what the meaning of lazy is. Just random thoughts. Is thinking also considered lazy? I mean, like thinking about your future, just laying in bed. That'd be a way to be lazy, I guess, because you're just thinking. Doesn't actually accomplish anything unless you do it. Just making a bunch of hypothetical scenarios. Maybe that's just a way that I spend my lazy day. Or just staring outside, just people watching. You ever want to like people watch and just watch your neighbor just like kind of walk their dog or something? Maybe that's one way to spend a lazy day. Usually when I think of a lazy day, I'm always like think it's like raining outside. That's why I can't go outside and do anything. Really, lazy day is just it kind of just hits you. You just wake up, you're not feeling it. You know what I mean, right? Like, or it's just a really hot day. It's like a really hot summer day. You just kind of want to get an ice cream cone. But in order to do that, in order to be a lazy day, sometimes you have to put an effort before it can become a lazy day. Like you need food to make it enjoyable. That means you have to walk. You have to walk from the couch to the fridge and open it. Do you know how much effort that is needed to be exerted in order to have a lazy day? It's unbearable sometimes. Although there are some people who just kind of just lay in bed for 12 hours. That could also count. But is that healthy? I mean, of course, lazy days aren't supposed to be healthy, I guess. I mean, maybe one way to spend a lazy day is just not to make you lazy anymore. Actually do something in life. I don't know. Get out of the house. Actually, maybe go grocery shopping or something. I don't know. Maybe one way to spend lazy days is just call your friend on the couch. Just from the comfort of the couch. You don't even have to. You can just ask Google to call your friend now. You don't even have to punch in numbers. That's just how easy it is to be lazy these days. Technology is a great thing. In fact, I don't even have to go outside to have a lazy day. I can just stay inside and watch TV. That wasn't a thing back in the day. Well, maybe over 100 years ago they didn't have TV. I don't know how they would spend their lazy days. Who knows? I wouldn't know. Anyway, I think I'm about to get this guy. Anyway, moral story, how would I spend my lazy day? I'd just be lazy. That's all.